So still waiting here, right? Still waiting. We haven't missed anything on this. Same thing with NVIDIA. I mean, I'm not chasing NVIDIA, not for me, but same idea. About 15 cents away, right? I want to watch the reaction to us hitting that high, or that previous breakout level. So guys, right? For me, the risk reward, getting the right risk reward for the play is going to be like close to the most important element, right? Because I want to make sure I have a positive expectation of making money on all my decisions. So easier said than done sometimes, right? But if my win rate is, say, 50%, right? It's not. It's higher than that. I mean, we're batting at 80% here so far this year. But if, say, my win rate is 50% and I target 3-to-1, 4-to-1, 5-to-1 risk reward on all my trades, then I have a much higher probability of being profitable versus if I target, 1-to-1 risk reward or 2-to-1. So I can skew the results or the ratios in my favor, right? Or the probability in my favor by being extra patient here and not compromising on my entry. So that's really what I'm trying to do. Maybe from this high, I could have gotten, I'm risking 53 cents for $1.45. So, I mean, negligibly difference, but I want to always try to get as good of a ratio as I possibly can. And once I actually start getting into this like 275.50 area, creeping up towards that 276 mark, my risk reward improves exponentially, right? All of a sudden, if I'm risking 20 cents to make $1.75, that's a 5-to-1, right? Or 6-to-1 or whatever it is. So, even 7-to-1 you can get. So if you can just be a little bit patient, right? You're going to lose less when you're wrong and you're going to make more when you're right. So for me, right, that's the way I'm going to focus on trading. Good little tidy inside bar on low volume. So inside bar fake out entry in play here, just to stress that out. Right, so I'm always going to try to get that, A+ perfect entry, right? That's going to be my #1 priority always. That makes it easier for me to be profitable in the future. So there's that little inside bar high, right? I'm going to look for an entry here pretty soon. Trying to get a fill here, guys. Trying to get a fill. Give it a sec. Okay, I'm in 94 cents. 94 cents on these 273 puts. And my stop loss here, right? 276. So losing trade here yesterday on QQQ, right? Really good setup, I think. Still an A+ setup, but where I messed up here is on the entry. So generally when I get my entry target, I want to see price action kind of react like a tennis ball where it hits its level and then bounces back down. We kind of saw the opposite of that in this circumstance here, watching it back with QQQ, where we saw it bounce down and then bounced all the way back up towards these highs. So probably put an entry I should have avoided. Maybe chased into this a little bit. Ultimately, good setup, but entry didn't give me a very good chance here. Okay, so let's see if this thing can break down here. See if this thing can break down. Not a bad entry, actually. Not a bad entry at all here. I would like to see this thing to flush, kind of like yesterday. Maybe just a little bit slower on that initial reaction. So at the time, felt pretty confident that I got a good entry because I was able to get a little bit closer in towards my stop loss. But as we just discussed like a few seconds ago, right? Didn't really get that correct reaction to that level. So in hindsight, I don't really have or shouldn't have had that confidence that I actually had a great entry here. Okay, watching closely. I'm going to give it 276, right? 276 or 15%. Just give it a sec here. At least I'm going to. So stop losses for me are always calculated based on what the volatility is needed for the position. In this context, I calculated my position sizing for a 15% stop loss and I was willing to accept a move up until that area because I had a later entry, which maybe invalidated that stop loss a little bit. All right, guys, I'm out. Whoa, okay. I got filled at 77 cents. So got stopped out here on this QQQ, right? Actually ended up ripping through my stop. Stop loss was on 80 cents here on the contracts, and I dealt with a little bit of slippage and got out at 77 cents. So a bit of a bigger loss than I would have wanted to take on that position, but I had a little bit of flexibility with my position sizing. Again, right, entry here was the issue, not necessarily the setup. Entry told me I should have gotten away from this. Fuck, all right. Oh yeah, I mean, it's a numbers game, right? We're not going to be correct on all of our decisions, where you can only try to learn from all of them. So we're going to have mistakes. I mean, feels a little bit unlucky, but is what it is, right? That's all part of the game. Can't take it personally, right? And we have to size our positions that if we take a hit, it's not breaking us emotionally either, right? Those are the core fundamentals that we focus on. We're going to have losing trades. We're going to be incorrect. That's okay. What's not okay is compounding negative decisions and adding to losers, right? Ignoring your stop loss, neglecting to take profit, right? Getting greedy. Those are the things that cost us money. We're always going to have losing trades. That is inevitable. How we react to a losing trade, though, doesn't have to be. That can be a positive choice. So tough, yeah, frustrating, especially because it came back all the way to entry price 30 seconds later. But yeah, game's cruel. That inside bar entry has been my bread and butter for last month, so not always going to work. And when it doesn't, it's wrong pretty quick. Good example there. So watching it back, right, generally mixed feelings about this trade. I think the setup was good enough, or at least logical enough, pretty close to my A+. So happy to have taken that trade. But the reaction I got after that inside bar close, I think I was probably trying to force an entry just a little bit too much, right? I didn't notice the sort of, bounce back initially, and kind of how much momentum that sort of candle, had sort of in hindsight. You can see it really replaying it. And I sort of missed that little detail yesterday during trading. So something to work on, something to focus on. And ultimately, maybe that could have been the reason why I would have wanted to avoid this trade, or at least waited for a much more patient entry. But happy to have managed my position well, took my stop loss where I needed to, and can survive for another day.